Hello students, today we are going to discuss the chapter Neural Control and Coordination, class 11th Biology. So what is the meaning of neural control and coordination? Firstly, what is organ? Organ, that is the group of different tissue. You can take the example of the stomach, that is also the organ. Other example like the alimentary canal, that is also an organ. So the organ and the organ system, they both coordinated in such a way to maintain the homeostasis. So what is homeostasis? Homeostasis, that is the constant internal condition in our body. That is the homeostasis. Now how this coordination is done? So what is coordination? Coordination means the two systems, the organ and the organ system, or the different types of organ system in our body, they are working like that the function of the first that is affected by the other, or that is controlled by the other. How? Let us take one example. When we are doing the muscular activity or when we are doing the exercise, at that time the energy demand of our body that is increased, and because this energy demand is increased to supply the energy to our muscles, and muscles also use oxygen for their work, so the oxygen demand that is also increased. And if oxygen demand is increased, then the rate of respiration that is also increased. What is respiration? Respiration, that is the breakdown of food to release energy, and it takes place in the presence of oxygen also or in the absence of oxygen also. So the energy is used to do the muscular activity. And if the rate of respiration increase, then the heartbeat, because the heart have to supply the blood with a fast rate to the different organs like our muscles, because the muscles have to do the muscular work. So the heartbeat that also increase, and if heartbeat increase, heart pump more blood to in the blood vessels, and the flow of blood in the blood vessels that is also increased when we are doing the muscular activity. So when we are doing the muscular activity, the other function like the respiration, the heartbeat, flow of blood in the blood vessels, that is also affected, or that is also coordinated. But when we are doing the rest, then what happen? The flow of blood in the blood vessels, the heartbeat that also decrease, rate of respiration also decrease, then the breakdown of food that is also increased, the supply of oxygen that is also decreased, and the energy demand that is also decreased. So all these activities that are coordinated, means if we are doing the muscular activity, the other organs and the have to do the function like that the muscular activity is coordinated. So in this chapter we will discuss the topic neural system and endocrine system. Collectively it is also known as neuroendocrine system. This neuro word is related to our nervous system, and this endocrine word is related to the glands which release the different types of hormones and the enzymes. So both these, the nervous as well as the endocrine system, they work coordinately, or the coordination is there in both the system. And in this chapter we will discuss the neural system, the mechanism of neural coordination, and all these we will discuss in this chapter. Now let us discuss the neural system. Now the neural system. So what is neural system? In neural system, neurons are there. And what is neurons? Neurons, these are the structural and functional unit of our nervous system. They are known as nerve cell. And the nerve cell, these are the longest cell present in our body because their length is very long, almost 1 meter. So the neurons, they can detect or they can receive or they can transmit the signal from the stimuli. So what is stimuli? Suppose we are looking at the sun. So what we are doing after some time, we are just blinking our eyes. Why? Because the stimulus of the light that enter into our eyes and the photoreceptors, they are sensitive to that light and then it is detected by our eyes. So the stimulus that is detected by the particular cell of our body and that stimulus is detected by these neurons. Suppose here if any person touches a hot object, so what he do? He withdraw his hand. Why? Because when he touch the hot object, then the stimulus is transferred from that hot object to the finger of the person, and in the finger of the person having the neurons, and these neurons then detect the signal, then they transmit it to our nervous system and a message is sent to our nervous system, then we just withdraw our hand. So these neurons, these are the structural and functional unit of our nervous system. They can detect the signal or receive the signal or transmit the signal to maintain the coordination of our body. The neural system in case of the lower animals, in case of invertebrates, that is very simple. That is the diagram of Hydra, and Hydra belongs to which phylum? It belongs to coelentrates. So it have a network of neurons. Only the cellular level of organization is there. So only the network of neurons are present in case of Hydra. But when we take the example of insects, in case of insects, the neural system is more complex as compared to Hydra. Here the brain along with the nerve ganglions are present in case of insect like cockroaches. And in case of the higher vertebrates like the human beings, there is the very well developed neural system is present and it having the brain and the spinal cord. So we are discussing the human physiology. So in this chapter we have to discuss the neural system in case of human beings. And in this neural system, the basic unit, that is the neuron, that is the simple diagram of the neuron. And in this, these fibers are the dendrites, and that is the cell body. This cell body is like a typical cell having the cell membrane, nucleus and the cytoplasm, and the long fiber arising from this, that is the axon. And these knob-like structures, these are the part of the axon known as nerve ending. So the detection of the signal or the stimulus that is acquired by the dendrite, then the message is transferred through the axon, and through these nerve ending, neurotransmitters are released at the synapse. So that is the simple diagram of the neuron. Now we will discuss the neural system in case of human beings. Let us discuss the human neural system. So human neural system consists of two parts, CNS and PNS. So what is the meaning of CNS? Central nervous system, and PNS, peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system composed of two parts. First, that is the brain, and second is the spinal cord. You are aware about the brain that is present inside the cranium part of our skull, and all the activities of our body like the thinking, hearing, memory, personality, reasoning, learning, or maintaining the posture of our body, that is maintained by our brain. So it is present in this central part, central axis of our body. So brain is present in our cranium. And second is the spinal cord. It is the long tube that is arising from the brain, and it is covered by the rings of vertebrae, and these vertebrae join to form the vertebral column. Due to the presence of this vertebral column, we the human beings are known as vertebrates. So the central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. After that, the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system means the nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord composed of peripheral nervous system. So this peripheral nervous system is divided into two types, the afferent fibers and the efferent fibers. So the afferent fibers, that fibers supply the message from the tissue to the central nervous system. Suppose one tissue is present here. So from this tissue it transfers the message to our brain, or we can say the spinal cord. So that is the afferent fibers. And what is efferent fibers? Efferent fibers transfer the message from the central nervous system to the tissue or the organ. So that is the efferent fibers. So I think you understood the central nervous system, that is divided into two parts, brain and spinal cord. And the peripheral nervous system means the nerves arising from the brain and the spinal cord, composed of peripheral nervous system. And these fibers, these nerves are of two types, afferent fibers and efferent. This afferent and efferent word you heard in the chapter the excretory product and their elimination. वहाँ पे था afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. तो इसी तरह से ये है afferent fibers and efferent fibers. Now let us discuss the types of peripheral nervous system. Now the peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system comprising the nerves arising from the central nervous system like brain and the spinal cord, and it consists of the efferent and the afferent fibers. Further, it divided into two types. First is the somatic peripheral nervous system and second is the autonomic. So what is somatic peripheral nervous system? Somatic peripheral nervous system transmit the nerve impulse from central nervous system to the skeletal muscles. So in our last chapter we have discussed the skeletal muscles. These are also known as the limb muscles or the voluntary muscles or the striated muscles. So from central nervous system to skeletal muscles, or we can say our voluntary organs. Next, autonomic. It is very clear from the name. Autonomic means automatic, जो अपने आप काम करेगा. So this peripheral nervous system transmit the message from CNS to the involuntary organs. Involuntary organs, the organs which can work without our will. And these involuntary organs like the alimentary canal is there, or the how the internal organs are working. We don't know what is our kidney doing, what is our heart doing, so we are not aware. So these are the involuntary organs. So the involuntary organs and the smooth muscles. So this autonomic nervous system transmit the message to involuntary organs. Next, this autonomic nervous system, it is divided into two types, sympathetic and parasympathetic autonomic nervous system. So peripheral nervous system is divided into somatic and autonomic, and this somatic transfer the message from central nervous system to skeletal muscles, and autonomic transmit the message from central nervous system to our involuntary organs. And this autonomic nervous system is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. So that is about the nervous system or the neural system in case of human being. Thank you.